We are here with another episode of the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. Today is going to be a banger episode. I am Paul, DV Sox. I'm here with my two bros. We got DV Macho and DV Celasti. Let's get nasty in the house. And today's going to be another special interview we got going on. We're doing another content creator / streamer. It's going to be a big one. We got Coach Mills in the house, who he's a coach. He streams. He releases content on YouTube. He's gonna be a good one. So I'm excited to get into it. Matt, you want to go ahead and just give like a quick introduction about yourself, what you do, where you come from, what you play on, if you're good or not?
No, I'm trying. No, I am. I'm a coach. I'm a video game coach, specializing in first-person shooters, and I do a lot of YouTube content. I create, I would say probably 15 videos a week, and then in addition, I manage tons of channels and a lot of the top esports games, like Apex Legends, Valorant, Halo, and more. And my life is pretty much YouTube, TikTok, social media, a lot of consulting and coaching either YouTubers or creators, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much me.
Nice,
man. That's awesome, because that is exactly kind of the for anybody who listens who wants to be an aspiring streamer, content creator. Like, I feel like you're the perfect guy to be on the on the podcast. Yeah. So pretty excited to have you on here, man.
Definitely want to listen.
Happy to be
listen into this one, because we got some good info coming. Even us, we're gonna learn so much from this podcast. I'm excited.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Like, no kidding.
Well,
all right.
Go ahead and kick us off. Where are you from? What brought you to where you're at? That kind of thing.
Oh. Well, Texas, born and raised in Texas, still here.
Keep it up.
Yeah. And we'll always be
Texas
here. Yeah. Which is kind of interesting, because of my job, I could work remote. So I could actually work anywhere in the world if I wanted to.
Nice.
But basically what got me started is I started like probably most people as a gamer, right? You just play games.
Yeah.
And you want to be good at games. And there was a point in time where I really dedicated myself to games, and I got really good. In Overwatch, I got good enough to be top 500, which is fairly good. The top 0.1% in the world or whatever. And when I was playing with a lot of teams, I would, you play on team after team after team. You would get coaches, people that would often charge you to coach for the team.
Yeah.
And I would face coach after coach that was terrible. Like they were not fit to be coaches. They were just willing to do it.
Wow. And they were getting paid, huh?
They were getting paid, and they were not good. They were really bad.
Yeah.
They were emotional. They would yell at the players. It was a mess. And I was like, you know what? I think I could coach. I think I could do it a lot better. And that's what I started doing. I started coaching. I coached multiple teams, and I coached on Twitch. I went on Twitch and I coached for free. People would do VOD reviews where they record their gameplay and they send it into someone to look over it. Typically, someone would charge at the time between like $30 and $60, but I was doing it for free. So I got a lot of traffic on Twitch for that, and one thing led to another.
Yeah, got an opportunity. Probably built your reputation. People probably saw that you actually knew what you were talking about, and actually were doing better than some of the other coaches that were, you're paying.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that you probably took how long did it take, would you say, to get yourself like at a really good point coaching?
So I think it probably took me like 7 months of doing it. Yeah. And at first I wasn't doing it that much, but as I kind of picked up a little traction, it was more fun. And I was never trying to make any money, and I really didn't make that much money. I was just trying to help players, because I felt like it took me a really long time to get good, but if I had a good coach, I feel like I could have done it in like half the time, or like 25% of the time. And that's kind of what I was trying. That was what I was trying for. And a lot of people felt really grateful to me, so they would, just ride along for my stream and hang out, and
nice, man. And you're kind of giving them a service, and then they're grateful to kind of returned it in favor, I guess, with views. And
that's cool.
That's pretty cool, man. I feel like you did it right.
You definitely started
where you're at now.
The right way.
It worked out. It worked out. I mean, I did get lucky, because what ended up happening is the company that I work for now, they found me, and they needed someone to take over their there was a channel that they had. It was a small channel for Overwatch, and they needed a coach / creator to take over. And they searched, and they couldn't find anyone that was qualified, that was willing to work. And they basically found me, like, right at the tail end of my college, my 4 years of college. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll try it. And the rest is history. I went from that game to another game to another game, and now I'm a pretty big part in the company and do a lot of other stuff. But that's how it all got started,
awesome. So at that point in time, then, so were you like content creating at that time too?
So no, the only thing I was doing back then was streaming. Because I was really actually very busy. I was going to college. I was working as a cook, and I was streaming at night. So I was doing those three things. And the only reason I did it because it was fun. I wasn't thinking about. I never thought it was going to turn into a career. I was just doing it because I liked it. That's it. Yeah,
that's the best way.
That's awesome. I feel like that's what kind of keeps us going with the podcast too. We're still very young in this thing, but man, we have some episodes that we make and we're just laughing the whole time. Or like we listen back to the episode and we're like, oh my god, like that was hilarious. And then
it's really funny to me when I go back to make us a short clip to put on TikTok or Instagram. I'm like, God, there's some of this stuff is so funny. Like it inspires me to keep going. So that's always the best work is when you're enjoying it. I wanted to ask you something about Overwatch though. So you said you coached Overwatch?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So did how was that as far as like just gaming knowledge on Overwatch? Like, is there any like tips you could give or like good combos of like players that fans that might be watching this like Overwatch?
So it's an interesting question because we're kind of right at the precipice right now where Overwatch 2 is finally dropping in a month. And I've been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have. And Overwatch is a very hard game because there's a lot to learn. There's so many things to learn. Every character is different. And I guess the advice I would give to people is it's pretty true in like everything in life, but it works with Overwatch 2 is specialized. So if you're trying to get good at something, sometimes people want to learn everything, and it's better to really learn.
That's me.
Very specific stuff.
DV/C is a player of all players. Like he wants to learn everyone, and he wants to.
It's true though what you're saying though. If you like want to be good at it, you need to specialize. Because I'm just average or like slightly above average at most
probably
characters.
Above average. I mean,
but I'm not like super good.
Because you have to think about, like, if you took all the hours you spent and you condense it into being really, really good at
just
one thing.
One character.
Then, one character, what they call roles, which is like tank, support, defense, or even sub-roles, then you're going to be way better at it. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, you could even relate it to sports, right? If you're trying to be, like, good at every single sport, I mean.
What are the chances?
You just have to be truly gifted at that point.
I do feel, though, for, like, a game like Overwatch or even Apex, when you play all the different characters, like it does take away from time to really hone in on one guy and like get technical with it, but it helps me at least gain knowledge on how every character really works.
And it's good. It's good for people like me when I was a coach, because I got good at every character. But the thing that you need to do is it's about how much time you can spend. So if you can spend. Like, that's the best way to do it, honestly. You'll become a better player if you can do that. But sometimes people say, oh, I can only play 10 hours a week. How do I get good? Well, if you can only play 10 hours a week, it has to be really focused. But if you can play 80 hours a week, then you can do it all, and then you'll still get good. So
I probably play more than the casual
you probably play more video games than you work.
I don't know. It's probably close, but maybe. I also game a lot because Brooke naps a lot, so I get a lot of free time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Especially during the school year.
Dude, I mean, I wish I could game more than I could freaking work.
Just work.
Yeah. I wish gaming was my work.
Matt, I will say that I don't think there's any amount of coaching that you can give that would make me decent at all in any game.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Like,
But
You're gonna have to find a different coach.
Is there any way your coaching can improve aim?
I mean, I can tell you the steps to go about it, but improving aim, if you're talking about aim with a mouse, it's really hours and repetition. That's the hard part.
He plays
there's
controller,
no,
and he has aim assist, and he's still ass.
Well, I mean, to be real, controller is a lot different than mouse. Like,
yeah, but you got
exponentially
you
become.
Also have so let's do something real quick, right? So let's go because obviously controller versus keyboard and mouse is like a big thing in aim assist video games.
You said no politics, and we're getting into something even more controversial.
So, let's get into it because it's big. So, Matt, you play mouse keyboard, I'm assuming.
Of course, yes. I also play controller. I have a controller right here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had to buy one. Yeah.
Slashy and Macho play controller on console. Me and you play mouse keyboard on PC. There seems to be like a kind of a tension, right, between the very good mouse and keyboard players and the very good controller players because controller players got aim assist. So what's your opinion on that? How do you feel about that?
It's hard, okay? It's hard. And for the record, I'm actively in Halo, and Halo's majority controller. And then I'm also managing the Apex channel, which is also majority controller for our channels. But but when here's the ultimate problem, and a lot of people don't like this, but this is the truth. When you put crossplay, when you create crossplay, and you allow mouse and keyboard and controllers to play together competitively, it's almost impossible to make it fair. And
Correct.
the secondary problem to that is a developer can decide who gets the advantage at any given moment, right? By tweaking certain metas will favor, like let's say there's a game that has a shotgun meta. It will favor an aim assist, right? Because it can react faster than the human can. But you could have another meta that's like a sniper meta, a long distance headshot meta that would favor a mouse and keyboard. You could make it to where the aim assist is stronger or weaker. And so it's kind of annoying from a pro perspective, because I have a lot of pros that talk to me that say they're mad that a developer can just decide one day that they're not good anymore, by changing the numbers. And this is kind of just what happens when you make the crossplay happen. I mean, crossplay has kind of exploded in the past, ever since Fortnite started doing it, then everyone did it. Back in the old days, it was like when Overwatch first dropped, it was like the only pros were on mouse and keyboard, right? But these days you see games like Apex, games like Fortnite have a mixture because the developers want it to be that way. They want to sell the esports dream on both, and I can see the arguments on both sides. Everyone wants to be able to compete, and I like that, but I can see the aimers argument on a mouse and keyboard, where to get good aim on a mouse and keyboard can take thousands of hours. And to replicate that same aim on mouse and, on a controller could take a lot less time, and some people are frustrated.
Correct.
So that causes some problems.
That's a really good take on it. I really like that.
I think for me, the way I see it is the potential, or like the ceiling for like how quick you can get or how good you can get with your aim. I feel like mouse and keyboard is a higher ceiling than a controller.
You can definitely be more precise.
That's kind of how I see that.
Yeah, and I would say that is true most of the time. I don't know how familiar y'all with Halo Infinite, but with Halo Infinite, it's both. It's one of the first Halos that released on PC and Xbox at the same time.
Yeah.
The pro scene is zero. There's zero mouse and keyboard players. No, not a single pro is a mouse and keyboard. Because the way that the battles fight in Halo and the time to kill, it takes a while. So just having a mouse and keyboard, having aim assist, it's just too much of an advantage. It's basically insurmountable. They did a graph, and they broke it down where the average controller accuracy is better than the top 1% of mouse and keyboard accuracy for Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
so that's crazy. Wow.
That's taking it to the extreme, right?
Right.
I think if there was some room, it doesn't have to be 50-50, but maybe if 30% of pros were mouse and keyboard or something. But having 0 means that the mouse and keyboard players don't want to play Halo, right? They don't want to touch it because they can't compete ever.
Yeah, or play on controller.
Yeah, or they have to swap, right?
We've been grinding a lot of Apex lately, Apex Legends, and I feel like there's a good mixture of players on it. I don't know what the pro scene's like, how many there are of each.
I think it's like 70-30 from what I think it is.
Like controller PC or PC controller?
PC controller, I think. I think it's 70% mouse and keyboard is what I think.
Okay, so I think that might be due to just like the movement in the game. Whereas, Halo, I know there's some movement and jumping and stuff, but in Apex, the knee sliding and the different characters' abilities to move, I feel like having the mouse and keyboard freedom is like so nice on. I don't play that, but I can imagine that it would be very nice. And sometimes I feel like the game just runs cleaner on a PC.
So, definitely runs better on PC unless you're running on my PC and your game crashes every 20 minutes. We're not going to talk about that though. So we've been grinding Apex like a ton. So I'm just going to give you like a quick feel on how we play Apex. So Junior plays like, it doesn't matter who he plays.
Mirage.
He's knocked most of the time. I'm the guy that gets knocked first of all fights, and then Sam's typically the last guy alive. Take that as you want. I do quick damage and then get 1v3 and die. Junior probably tries to support some and then dies because he misses his shots. And then Sam's there, to help, try to help there. But I'm always the first one dead. We'll say it now. I'm going to say it. I die first every goddamn time.
Well, Apex is one of the games that I actually play casually the most because I don't play the games I coach all that much, and the reason for that is because it's too much. It's just too much when it gets overwhelming if you create content and play the same game. Too much. But I want to play a game that will keep my skills up, right? Mechanically, my aim up and stuff. So I play, even though I don't directly create content for Apex, I manage the guy that does, but I don't create content. I play it a lot. So I play it with my friends a lot. It's one of my favorite games to play these days.
Who are you liking in Apex? As your,
I'm a Valk one trick. That's all I play. I'm a Valk.
There's a lot of people who like that.
I hate getting third party. So I would, if you want a third party me, we're flying the hell away. We're out of there. We're gone.
Nice. See, like I love Valk, but I play so aggressive that Valk really doesn't do me well because. She
doesn't really have an out. Yeah,
exactly. I kind of started to really get on the Wraith train because she's got a really easy out of like a 8-second run of invincibility. So I've really started to get on that train. So like my play style is like the super aggressive, like up front guy trying to 1v3 every time and then dying. That's my play style. So Wraith has like really been filling my roles.
Maybe Octane or
I tried Octane. Octane's movement is the best in the game. Yeah, Octane's movement is insane. Yeah. He moves so quick. But yeah, I tried. I didn't really give it that much time though. I went back to Valk and I was like,
so I love Octane. I would consider myself an Octane main. Like if I've got one game to do the best I can individually, I go Octane.
Octane, yeah.
If I'm trying to play as a team, I'll play like a Bloodhound or I play Fuse sometimes too, but Bloodhound
knuckle clusters
is better.
I
got some mean knuckle clusters.
Nice.
But
I used to be an Octane main for a while, and then I eventually just swapped to Val because once certain characters, they're kind of harder to get to work when you climb, and I think certain character combos and trios are a lot better. And so like my buddy, me and him, we synergized together and we played like characters that work together. So
that's cool.
Nice, man. So this is kind of weird. I mean, the character that I normally play is Mirage because I think it's the best character that works with my abilities. Because I'm not the best gamer. I do it because it's fun. But being able to throw out a Mirage to, have them shooting at that one where you can get like a leg up on someone and start shooting them. Like that helps me so much. And then like being able to, with the ult throw out all those different Mirages, like and confuse and make chaos. Like,
yeah, I personally love Mirage.
It just evens the playing field for me. Where I'm like, yes, like they don't know where I'm at.
So I'm like just okay at Apex, but the creator I manage, he's like very, very good. He's like the top 0.1% or whatever, and he hates Mirage
That's
with
crazy.
a passion. He really hates Mirage. He hates it so much. But you know, up in the rank that he plays, you know, it's like it's very specific what you can play, like very, very specific.
Yeah.
It's like every team has a Gib, every team has a Bloodhound, every team has, you know, one of 3 after that, which is like Octane, Valk, or you know, there's very few viable characters. There,
right.
So,
That makes sense.
but the low, like most of us can play whatever we want to, right? But
Right.
Yeah.
you know, but he plays in like tournaments and stuff like that. So
that kind of leads me to something else. So you say you manage this person, right? And then you manage content creators or kind of work with them and whatnot. So what does that look like as far as you, like, that's your job? Like, what does that look like? Is that like giving them advice for creating content? And is it directly to like TikTok towards Instagram or YouTube or?
So there's 2 different things I typically do. So I have a consulting thing on the side that I run through different avenues. I run through Fiverr and stuff like that. And that is someone is struggling with their YouTube or their TikTok. They want advice. They want to learn how to grow. They basically reach out to me and I help them. And most of what that is me planning out like what type of content they want to make, how to do it most efficiently. Because in doing this job, I've created, you know, in a pretty small frame of time, you know, a little bit over 3 years, I've probably made 1,500 videos. So, and I get to look at all the analytics and the data, and I get to manage all these channels. So I know, you know, how to get a video to work, how to monetize a channel, how to make the channel grow quick. How do you not waste your time when you're trying to grow a YouTube channel? That's all the stuff that I try to help people with. And I'm not doing it for them because ultimately growing a YouTube channel is work. But I'm just trying to make it so that their time is, you know, efficient, right? I don't want them to spend, you know, 50 videos that are already going to fail before they even start because they're not doing something right. And then the other aspect of that is with the company, we bring on new creators for games. And oftentimes when you get a new creator, someone who's really good at a game, we want them to make a guide for us. Let's say it's like, let's go to Apex, 5 tips for Apex. And they jump in, and when they're trying to make the video, they sound really down. They don't have the right tonality, the excitement.
I gotcha. Okay.
They don't know how to relate the content. You can't just tell someone to do something. You have to tell them why it matters, what's the takeaway, and you know, these are all things that keep a video entertaining. And basically, whenever we bring a new creator on, they're sent to me. I go through their content, I review it. They do like a whole bunch of recordings, and they send me it, I listen, I tell them corrections, and we go through that a couple of times, and then I eventually have weekly meetings with them and just break down their analytics, what videos are doing good, what videos are doing bad, and why. And then eventually they're good, and then they don't need me anymore, and then I move on to helping other people. But that's kind of what I do.
Person, yeah. Man, that's really cool. So you're basically like still a coach.
I'm still coaching, just not necessarily games all the time.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool dynamic. Well, with that, what kind of coaching tips would you be able to pass on for us? I know I'm curious, and then for anyone, you know, listening, aspiring content creator, streamer, like, is there anything you're willing to share with us with that?
So, okay, so I'll kind of lay out the number one mistake that I see often when people are trying to start YouTube channels.
That's a good hook.
And this is true for people that want to start gaming channels or vlogs or maybe if someone wants to do a daily vlog, shopping, whatever. They want to make the content purely about their experiences in them. And what I mean by that is someone wants to do a vlog this girl came to me and she wanted to improve her vlogging, and she said, okay, I want to make this video, and her name was Denise, and she's like, let's name it Shopping with Denise. And I said, no one cares about you. And she was like freaking out. I was like, no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about no one knows you. Like,
Yeah.
no one wants to go shopping with Denise because who's Denise? Why do we care about Denise?
Right.
And I said, if you want to vlog, and I was like, what are you shopping for? She said, I'm shopping for jeans for the spring season. I said, instead, you need to frame this in a way that is actually value added for people that will watch it, even if they don't know you. So instead, you could say, top 5 summer jeans to look good in 2022 or something like that. Something that people will click on. At the end of the day, the content's the same, but the way you're selling it is, this is something that will help you find the right jeans to wear. And ultimately, I say, if you are creating content, it needs to be one of two things. It needs to be educational or it needs to be entertaining. If you're not making someone laugh or be intrigued, you need to be teaching them something. And if you're not doing either of those things, there's no reason for you to make content. Yeah, if you're huge, right? You're someone incredibly big, then your name will
You already have
carry.
a name, right?
Yeah. But typically, you only got to that place because you entertained or educated. That's the only ways to get there.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I tell people is, if you want to get started, you got to do one of the two. I think education is easier because that's what I do, because entertaining is hard. You need a little bit of charisma and just something special, but educating everyone can do. And you don't even have to be super knowledgeable. You could do what y'all are doing on a podcast where you're reaching out to people that know and you're trying to learn and you're trying to help an audience grow as well. That's all really great stuff. But a lot of people, they come into it and they post their gameplay and they just say, let's do a let's play of, Spider-Man and you can come watch me. It's like, why do we want to watch you just play Spider-Man?
There's a million people playing Spider-Man out there. Why do I want to watch you play Spider-Man?
This is valuable information, because with us trying to start our own, little thing going on here, I think that's educational, right? If we don't know, finding people that do know, or actually finding out what has been working for them with gaining audience and maybe being able to teach that to anyone else. But then entertainment wise too, I think I think we're probably we kind of are doing a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I think
and that's always the sweet
either.
spot. Yeah.
I think I think we lean a little more towards entertainment, to be honest. Like most of our stuff is supposed to be lighthearted and pretty funny. I don't know of anything personally that I've posted that's like really educational. I'll post stuff like posting questions. Like I made a clip saying like, has anybody else been loving the charge rifle? And I just put a short clip of people or me playing with the charge rifle, and I got a few comments back on it and stuff like that, which was cool. But I don't know if that's considered educational, really.
It can definitely bring people in and intrigue people, but there's ways to also, if you have, let's say you have a podcast guest or even just y'all, one of you asks a question, one of you answers it, and that's the clip. And the clip is the question and the answer, and that's educational right there, right? Automatically.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
so
we could make a clip right now, basically, of just saying, hey, what are the number one mistake a content coach, or number one mistake content coach says, or whatever. So you're saying that would be like, if we advertise that in a clip, that would probably get more hits than just any random clip we probably made.
100%.
Just because people are going to be, I guess that makes sense, right? People are going to be curious, like, oh man, like, well, I want to see what I'm maybe making this mistake, or maybe not doing. That makes a lot of sense. That really shifts a focus in my mind of what maybe we need to try to do a little more, just to keep gaining traction.
We're really small right now, so like you said, I don't think you've seen our pages yet. But how long have we been doing this since we started?
I think we're
6 episodes, 7.
We're at 8 episodes.
8 episodes in. Our TikTok's at 400, which is our biggest thing. Obviously, that's small still, but that's where it's at. And it's only what has it been, like 2 months? Probably
roughly. Yeah,
3
I
months.
think we're probably been at 2 months.
We're in month 3, I think. So that's where it is.
Yeah, a lot of things you learn by just going, just going through the motions. You learn a lot, and I think a lot of people they get too caught up in the details. I've seen people before where they they want to like have every single thing planned before they make a single bit of content. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're wasting your time. Like, just get started. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a great tip too. That was one thing we had to do, was just to do the podcast. You really have to dive into it, and Junior did a good job of that.
Yeah, for sure. I got something big here for you. So obviously you started small, you got a lot of success, and then you expanded onto it, found your niche, we'll say, and then really fell, I guess, in love with like coaching and teaching other people. So like, what keeps you motivated? Like, do you ever feel like you've reached your peak, or you're like your
not
niche
even
and
close. No, I wish. No, I mean, money is a great motivator, honestly.
Yeah.
But you know, I really think I could grow a lot more. I'm really kind of just, I'm bigger than at the bottom, but I'm not even close to even the middle or even the bottom quarter in my opinion. There's a lot of places I could grow. The big thing for me next, I think, is find a way to leverage my platform to grow my own side thing. So specifically, I haven't streamed Twitch since way back when, before I got, onto the company I work with now.
Yeah,
that was the last time I streamed. I kind of used the streaming as a jumping off point to the rest of my career. And I want to use all my platform, everyone that knows me, to bring people back to my stream and start streaming again consistently. Because I have a huge platform. I mean, hundreds of millions of people have seen my content. So if I could bring those people and channel those to my Twitch, I could probably have a decent following there. Yeah. And I'm planning on doing a lot of that centered around Overwatch 2. So that's kind of my plan going forward.
Oh man, that's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. So I mean, so with streaming with that, like, so Overwatch 2, which, man, I honestly just recently found out about that. Real. And that's pretty exciting. Just another Overwatch 2 is coming out. But so you're wanting it to get back to your stream and then just hopefully pull in all those people from your platforms that you already have, or from coaching and all that stuff. So what does that look like? What does that do for you? Is that just something where you pull these people in and they're watching your stream, or does that, what do you get in return for that, I guess?
So I'm really trying to grow my personal brand, because I mean, like, Coach Mills is my education brand, but I want to grow it out even further. And the way that I do that in my mind is this is not something that was created by me. This is something that's created by other creators, but it's just a good thing to do. Is you stream on Twitch, and then you take chunks of your Twitch stream and you turn them into YouTube videos, and you take chunks of those and you turn them into shorts and TikToks. So it's basically like the content starts with Twitch, and it flows downward, and it's like how you maximize the content with, all you're doing is streaming, but then you have all this content, all these VODs that you get to edit and use and work with. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to push out my own side brand and, be someone that has my own side thing, has my own separate stream of income and separate fan base, just people that I can interact with and talk with and help and coach. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it's there's a lot of potential there, and I really feel like I should have been streaming like a lot already, but I just haven't, because I've just been busy and probably making excuses. But I need to get.
I mean, the time thing is legitimate, it's right? Huge. Finding the time to play, finding the time to edit, finding the time to coach, finding the time to family, like.
Oh, and you have kids, right?
Yeah, too. Yeah, it's crazy.
There's only so many hours in the day, and if you don't sleep, that doesn't help you do anything.
That's what these are for right here.
Monster Energy drink. Hey, that's no sugar, Monster, right there. That's good for you.
Yes, sir.
Man, dude, honestly, I've been learning so much already from you right now. But something that you had mentioned, I think a little bit earlier, maybe before we started this, was that as far as like YouTube content, like that kind of thing, you're saying making it more streamlined as far as getting the most that you can with your time. Is there anything that you can teach us with that? Because with our podcast, we record every episode. But what's the best way to utilize YouTube?
That's the thing about a podcast. Is a podcast is actually, it's similar to Twitch in the way that it's like actually it can be content that creates everything else, right? Because you can take clips from the podcast and turn it into TikToks or YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And I would actually highly
doing
suggest when you have your main YouTube channel. I'm guessing you post the full podcast there.
Yep, we do. And we've posted a couple of short things on YouTube also with like a specific subject.
Yeah.
We've done that.
So I would suggest creating a separate channel that is a sub channel that is for specifically shorts. That's something that what you can do is you can post, because you're already going through the effort to make a TikTok, so you might as well post the same TikTok to YouTube Shorts.
That's true.
You know, because it's the same thing, right? It's the same content. That would be a good thing to do. And then I've seen two different ways to do it. You could post the entire podcast on YouTube, or you can take 9 to 10 minute sections or rants and put them on YouTube as well. It's kind of depending on your style, what you want to do. Yeah. Sometimes if you feel like maybe you had a podcast that you really liked pieces of it, but you didn't like the whole thing, maybe you can just focus on the really impactful moments and put those on YouTube instead.
Okay.
Because
I guess something to think about for us.
YouTube's all about the engagement. How long can you keep people interested? And I like splitting up the content into 5 to 10 minute sections, because you can title it in a really clickbait way. You can say,
for sure,
the number one way to succeed as a content creator. Put a cool thumbnail, that's the title, and then it's our 10-minute conversation, right? And that's clipped out and put as a whole video. And you really didn't have to do any work. The only work you had to do was the thumbnail, right? That's pretty much it.
Nice.
And then you could do the same thing with whatever else we talk about later on. You can, you could post. Basically, you could make 4 YouTube videos out of one podcast, and then maybe 5 TikToks, which is also 5 shorts, and that's a lot of content. And
spreading it out.
So just today, I kind of did that, minus the YouTube side of it. What I did today was I think I made 4 new TikToks, all from our last podcast episode, and then I posted those to TikTok and Instagram together. So
we just gotta throw those on YouTube.
We're working on it. I think there's some pretty funny stuff that comes. That's what you're exactly what you're saying. There's so much great stuff that comes out of just a whole podcast recording, where I can really find the funny stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
And
it gets to be the best of the best, right? From the podcast. It's great. Yeah.
It's basically the highlights, basically. Man,
I want to do something. I want to switch it up here. I'm gonna switch up the vibes a little bit, just complete switch here. Okay, this is completely random too.
That's switching your vibes.
Yeah, we've got so much good stuff in. I'm just gonna throw something random out. Okay, you ready? Yep. Apples or oranges? I'm just kidding. Not apples or oranges. If you could go back in time and just play one game that you cannot play now, and just grind it again and have the same feeling, what would it be?
Oh shit! It undoubtedly Jack and Daxter. I don't know if y'all played that game.
Oh wow!
It would either be so the trifecta back then of platform games was Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper were the 3 big ones.
Ratchet and Clank is the one that stands out for me.
Yeah. I love that one too. It was insane, but Jack and Daxter 1 to me was great. I still remember it. It was a good time. It was that time in your life where you were a kid, you didn't care about anything. Nothing was a problem.
Man, it's funny you say that, because we actually did that was kind of one of our podcasts, where we were just all of our favorite gaming console. I think that was our question. What's our favorite gaming console? And then all of our favorite gaming consoles just came back to a time where life was just no responsibility.
Yeah.
It's you just enjoyed playing a game, and everything was fun, and you were innocent, and
you didn't have to think about tomorrow. I hate having to think about tomorrow all the time, or the next day, or the next month.
Yeah,
or the next
exactly.
You can't afford to just be in the moment ever. You got something else to do.
Got to keep looking forward.
Yeah. So what about y'all? What's y'all's games? What was y'all's? What was the?
I don't know if we actually haven't discussed that. Or the one game we could go back and play. I don't think we ever talked about that.
You know what? I got one. Something that kind of just jumps out to me is Donkey Kong.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
that one is that game I used to just play so much with Diddy Kong coming out, and it was such a, what is it, Donkey Kong something country. I can't remember the name of it, the whole title, but yeah, once I stopped playing it and it kind of moved on, and I just never played it again. I think they're bringing it. They brought it back already. I think you can still play it like on like maybe your Nintendo Switch or something.
Yeah, I think they did bring it back, but I do remember playing that as a kid. It's fun. I just remember the barrels that would turn. You have to time it at the right moment to spin to the other barrel. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that shit so much.
It's such a good game. What do you
Paul,
guys
you got one?
Sam, you go.
I'll
go. So growing up, I was always a really, really big Super Mario fan. Anything Super Mario. Sam talked about this too, and I'm probably a Super Mario fan because we had all the Super Mario games because of him. So that's all I played was Super Mario, right? Like on GameCube and like stuff like that. So I'm gonna go back, and I actually still have this game for Wii. It's a GameCube game, but it's for Wii. Mario Baseball. That game is like an all-time Mario game.
I played it. It's fun. It's really fun.
If you go to Game Over right now, that game's selling for like $80, and that game's from like 2005. It makes no sense.
It's so sick. Yeah, I have a feeling that they will remake it at some point for the new gen because it's a lot of people want it. A lot of people.
That would be so sick.
Yeah.
So
so much stuff they can do with that game.
At all.
They
remember Mario?
Go ahead.
Well, they just remade Super Mario Strikers, which is like the soccer one. It started on Wii.
That was my second one.
It's fun.
That was
it's
my second
fun,
favorite game, dude. That game was sick. Oh, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like normally you play against
somewhere.
You play against a bunch of turtle guys, right?
Yeah. I was always Wario was my shit. He like did like vines and you could trap people. Yeah, it's sick. No, I love all these like they're like the wacky sport game genre. It's not like regular sport games, but it's like
games with superpowers.
Going a little bit for basically like you could hit like
Blitz was huge.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys remember that game?
Blitz.
That game was crazy.
So what I'm struggling with, why I'm struggling with this so much, because the games that I think of that I really would want to go back and play aren't like that old. So like I would love to go play Call of Duty
young guy
4.
over here. Jesus
If I had to
Christ.
pick one game,
that's still old. That's
but
pretty.
it's been remastered.
I mean, that's
right?
pretty old. It's not the
been
same.
remastered,
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
Everything was broken in
I guess
the original
OG
Modern Warfare in a good
4.
way, in a really good way. I remember a
The
martyrdom.
M16 had
like,
no weapon
the martyrdom
sway when you
triggered
aimed
martyrdom.
outside.
Yeah.
Dude, Martyrdom and Last Stand in that game were game changing, dude. Two of the worst. You gotta kill somebody twice before you actually kill them.
If you got in a fight, like a cluster fight in a room, everyone's martyrdom would proc each other, and it would just be like
just one
what are
playing
we
like
doing
headquarters, right? Playing headquarters on shipment, and everybody's in the middle of the map. You just got 6 martyrdoms going off at once.
Yes.
I do remember playing shipment and being like, freaking martyrdom, man. Like
it's either you run into a grenade on the ground or you run into a dude on his ass waiting to shoot you with his pistol because he's knocked. Like, Jesus Christ.
Wasn't there a Commando? Was that in Call of Duty 4? Where you could like knife somebody from really far? Or was that Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, it was like a lunge knife.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
okay. I would
consider it.
I would
consider it the
that
best
said
for
that.
me.
I was also going to say Halo 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Heck no.
Yeah, I feel like he's frozen on my screen. You still there?
He may have crashed, but we'll continue.
That's okay.
Well,
we can always circle back.
I guess we can. Yeah, we can circle back whenever.
I'm going to throw something sports related out real quick because I don't know if you guys got this ESPN notification. Arkansas stuns #1 Gonzaga in the Sweet 16.
It's Thursday night.
Yeah, Brooks
Gonzaga's
watching
out
right now.
of the March Madness NCAA
What happened to
tournament.
Chet?
Dude, I totally forgot it's Thursday. The Sweet 16 games are going on today and tomorrow, like 4 of them. Oh man,
I heard
completely
so
forgot.
many people who really like the SEC teams. So like Arkansas, is Arizona SEC? Arizona's SEC, right? Arizona. We're
You
gonna
did a
say
good
SEC,
job of
sure.
saying
Arizona
that in
SEC. Nobody had confidence in Kentucky. Kentucky's trash, like always, overrated. Since they had the, Cat, all those guys.
Hey,
It's been a
Paul,
weird tournament, though.
Your sound is really loud.
Is
Is
it?
this me?
It's
Like,
been really
I think
loud.
you
Like,
maybe
the whole
turn
time.
your gain down.
Better?
So
Yeah.
much better.
Better?
I was trying to find a time to tell you, but I could not, dude. Like your sound would just overpower everything.
So better now.
It's so much better.
Okay. Lit. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about next? We'll cut this.
I don't know,
think-
man, but dude, he gave us so much information, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
gave us a
of
bunch of really good
What we
stuff.
can do.
Just let him know that he can rejoin from that same link, Paul.
yeah, I'll message him right now.
And really, we're kind of at time. We can just
Yeah, we're at about 45 minutes right now.
Just wrap it up once he
wrap it
gets
up with
back in.
him, give him a proper goodbye and thank you.
Well, I think
Let him go back to his kiddos and work.
Let him know. I guess maybe people who can find him.
Yeah, I'll
where-
just be
where
like,
they
you
can
wanna,
find
you
him?
want to shout out all your socials?
That way he can. If anybody wants to get in contact with him, get his services, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gave us some pretty good tips. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
He said he reset his router. He should be back soon.
All right.
okay, dude, that would be lit, man. That's the dream to do something and then it lead to being able to be your freaking job. Paul, what are you doing?
Gonzaga.
I can't believe that happened.
Dude, everybody thought Gonzaga was gonna win. I thought there was no way. They were way too favored to win.
Well,
Nobody-
Gonzaga's
if-
always that team that doesn't win it, and they were just constantly number ones until they won.
Besides
it
that
time.
one year, yeah. Besides the one year
Yeah.
they won it.
Guys, I posted a really long Apex video today. Hey.
Hey,
I'm back. Sorry about that.
He's back.
Let's go.
AT&T. What the hell?
I
Can we
I
hear
don't
you?
remember
Hello,
where we
hello, hello?
left off.
I don't know. I
Can you
couldn't
hear
hear you.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Yep.
good.
We got you now.
What
What
were we
were
talking about?
What were you saying?
We were just talking about Halo 3 MW2, but I think we're moving on to something else. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh yeah. Well, the one thing I was gonna say with that was that I felt like there's a time period that kind of changed everything again with when Fortnite kind of
Explosion.
100%.
just changed gaming.
I would argue it changed gaming in a bad way in a lot of ways, but that's probably a controversial opinion.
I
Well,
can feel that.
The way you say
Another
that
great
and
hook.
Dude, you said that, and that made me immediately think of the gaming way that it changed is now you got people that Fortnite forced you to become so freaking good.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. Yeah.
If you I don't know, in that game you had to be really,
You
really
can't be a
good.
casual gamer in Fortnite.
No, and then
No, not anymore.
it became I feel like that started kind of happening with like almost every game, though, is just that people became so good at certain games that you just couldn't really hang anymore.
I would say with technology advances, it helps. People got better computers now, better equipment. Also, you've gotten worse, so that also doesn't help. But
My me aging, that's probably
exactly. You've aged opposite of the equipment, so that doesn't help. But yeah, like for me, like Fortnite, I obviously jumped on. I wish I would have jumped on the Fortnite bandwagon sooner because I was really good when it first came out. But like I feel like that game almost. When I think of a game now that I love, like Fortnite doesn't even like come to my mind. And I played that game for like 3.5 years straight, just like nothing but Fortnite.
Yeah.
But the kind of like the reason you played Fortnite was because you were good. Like at some point, it was great at first. Everybody could jump on with the boys, play for a few hours. It was awesome. And then it just became a game where it was like you're either really good or you're gonna just get trashed on all night long. And then I feel like that's almost kind of strayed gaming too. Like it's made gaming almost so toxic. Fortnite has really
I could definitely see that,
a toxic community, like just a natural thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it's the same way with sports, right? I think when people are really competitive, they get more and more toxic, right?
Exactly.
It's like there's a big difference between like people that are good and people that are just want to play. You know, it can definitely make things toxic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's good for businesses like my company where we are, esports oriented, but at the same time, it's almost like people can't have fun playing games anymore. It's like everyone's chasing the dream to be a pro player and no one is just enjoying the ride. And in reality, the majority of people that chase the path to pro aren't gonna make it there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm not saying don't chase. I'm just saying, like, it's okay to have fun. It's okay to enjoy the game.
That's so hard for me to do.
Yeah, there's a DV macho in every household. You know what I mean? just playing for the fun.
There should
I think
be,
Fortnite's almost ruined that for me because, like, Fortnite has taught me, like, I need to just be good at all times. Because I could just never let my guard down while playing Fortnite. I had to be the best in the lobby to actually, like, win all the fights. So now, like, even on Apex, like, I can't just play to have fun. Like, man, I'm trying to drop 20 kills and win every game. Like, and when I die, I'm pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. In Overwatch, if you're better than other people, you're like a god. Like, you literally feel like that. I mean, you're untouchable. I mean, it's the same with Fortnite. If you're way better than people that you're playing against, you feel untouchable.
You can tell.
You can make jokes, you can laugh, you can, you could play with one hand. Like, I'm not really, but you don't care, right?
That's how I feel with Lucio. Yeah, I feel like that when I play Lucio.
So we actually play Overwatch pretty casual. Well, I don't want to say pretty casually because we get pretty heated while playing. But
nice.
we typically get on our Overwatch grind for a couple weeks, and then Apex is kind of taking that over. But we play Overwatch actually pretty hard. I play attacking mainly. Sam's play whatever the hell he wants. Junior's a whatever's
I like
the last
playing
full
Mora.
role.
Yeah, I think
Mora's
Junior's
pretty
best
fun
is
for
Mora.
me.
But I'm a big.
It's gonna be exciting.
I'm a big Reaper player, dude. I'm a Reaper main. I will go like
gotta one pump people in every game, huh?
dude. I love Reaper, man. He's so good. Just literally just getting behind people all game long and just dropping 30 bombs. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually got a question. So this I'm super curious about this. All right, Coach Mills, you got very good at Overwatch, right? Then you became an Overwatch coach. So what was your main role that you would go to?
So yeah, I actually got good at everything. We talked about that a little bit.
Of course he did.
Yeah. No, but
of course he did.
Yeah. But my main character for a long time was Genji. Genji was the
gosh.
everyone wants to get 6-man blades,
Yeah.
Good Genji
and
player is so annoying.
the problem with Genji is for the longest time Genji was not good. He's still not good at the high ranks. He's like a character that is completely dominant at the lower ranks because if you have the skill, you can just destroy everybody.
Exactly.
When you get to the higher ranks, when people know how to shut you down, you could be incredibly good and it doesn't matter. So I feel like a lot of my hours I spent grinding Genji were a waste. I should have learned something else, honestly. But I eventually did, and I had to learn a lot of different characters. And honestly, the role that I would be the best at would probably be tank. But I don't like playing tank. I prefer like support.
I don't think anybody
or
does.
Damage dealer.
I like
Are there
it's-
players out there like so you coached Overwatch? Are there Overwatch players that are like, hell yeah, get me in tank, baby, 6 hours,
Well,
6 hours a day, just
some
tank.
people. So the cool thing about playing tank in scrims when you're playing with like a full team is you have everyone has your back, right? Like everyone has your back. The healers have your back. You know, like in ranked, it sucks ass, especially if you're playing by yourself and you're a tank. You feel like you're left defenseless. Like
Exactly.
you're like holding a shield and there's a fucking tracer, or there's a far. You're like, right, I'm just chilling here. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of tanks, I feel like it's like they want to tank diff the other tank. You know, a Rhine wants to shatter the other Rhine. They want to outplay them, or you know, I think that it's almost like a really strong ego thing, but mainly in scrims, tank players are the callers. They're the communicators. They talk about where to go, who they're going on. They're like the team leaders. So like
That's why
people
I like
that are
tank,
really
I think.
loud and they have like a very leader, charismatic, aggressive personality. They want to tank. And you know, tanking might be the most boring role to some people, but it's honestly the most important role.
Yeah.
In
for
all
sure.
of Overwatch, a good main tank is like you can carry it, and it's going to be even bigger because in the next Overwatch 2, they deleted one of the tanks. There's only 5 characters now. It's
Who did they
5v5.
delete?
Yeah.
No, they deleted the role. So instead of 66, it's 5v5. Yeah, there's not 2 tanks anymore. There's only 1. But they made the tanks stronger. So the tanks are stronger now, but they are
it's just
only
one.
But if you are on a team with a bad tank, it's really bad because it's one,
yeah.
right? If you're on the team with a good tank,
No
and the
backup tank.
yeah, and the tank is Zarya's have 2 bubbles now, like 2 self bubbles. Like
Dude, that is
Winston has like a ray gun. There's a lot of so tanking will, if you want to carry an entire game on your shoulders, tank is where it's at, and I think that's what brings people towards it a little bit, but it still is the least popular role by far. It's very unpopular compared to the other roles.
Damn,
that was
that was interesting. Interesting as fuck.
I love playing some tank, to be honest. So like if we ever just get into a mode where it's like we really want to win a game, I typically jump on Zarya because I'm a really good Zarya player, just because she's so like crowd control oriented, and then you get her freaking laser beam to max laser beam. And then Desiree's a really good healer, so I never die. She's literally the best healer. It's great.
Yeah, they're a very good combo.
And then, so we typically run, I'll run Zarya, and then we have Sauce, who's another DV guy. He runs Winston with me, and he just starts punching people, dude. It's great. I don't even know if that's a good combo, but somehow it works.
You guys make it work.
If it
You
works.
bubble him, he jumps in, starts fighting, whacking people around,
So
and
that's
then
what
he
it
jumps
is.
out. And
He takes so much damage when I bubble him that I literally just go in right after and kill everybody with my maxed out laser beam.
So that was actually there's comps that are centered around that, and in the pro scene they're called double bubble comps because Winston has a bubble and Zarya has a bubble, so they're double bubble.
Yeah.
And they can work. You can get a lot of charge from your Winston just jumping in, inting in. Yeah, it's good.
Heck yeah.
I hate. Who's the guy with the machine gun, rotary gun?
Bastion.
Bastion.
Oh,
and
You talking about the fat guy who eats the apple?
dude, the Bastion and the comp where they just shield the Bastion and heal him.
Oh
I
yeah,
hate that.
Bunker comp is what that's called.
Is that what it is?
And Bastion got completely changed, by the way. He's very
hell
different now. You'll see
so
it in
happy.
Overwatch 2. He's not even remotely similar. So that comp won't exist anymore.
That is so
Thank God.
infuriating.
Yeah.
Other
That's great
than
news.
other than a crazy good Genji player, that comp is infuriating because there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing you can do. Like if they're backed in a corner and they're getting healed, you can't get behind them, and it's just so frustrating.
So that's a type of composition that you need the one way to actually shut that composition down is teamwork, which you don't get in a regular game. Like you need the entire team.
Yeah.
Because, if you can, wrap around the map to the point where the Bastion sees you and you're on top of them, you're good. But does that actually happen? Most of the time, no. Yeah. Most of the time, before you even touch the Bastion, your tank died, and then your support died, and you're like, okay, well, now we only have 4 people. And then you lose that fight, you lose the next fight, Bastion ults, you lose the next fight. It's like okay, what are we doing here?
And then you're screaming, you're like, let's just get out, let's just quit this one.
And then you just
somebody switch their character. It's not working. Somebody needs to switch.
Somebody needs to switch. We don't know who, but somebody. Oh man, that's fun.
I'm super amped for Overwatch 2, man. It's gonna be a good game.
Well, I mean, I think. Do you guys have any other questions, or is there anything you would like to, any info that you would like to give us, Coach Mills? Any parting shots?
Shout out your socials and like anybody you want to shout out before you get out of here. So
or anybody
who's listening,
anyone who may want to seek your services,
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're looking to grow on YouTube and you want advice, you want consult, definitely hit me up. I'm Coach_Mills on Fiverr is the best way, or you can directly contact me on Discord, Coach_Mills number 8515. I'm also on YouTube, Game Leap, YouTube, any of the Game Leap channels, you'll see me. So yeah, that's everything.
Cool,
Heck
man.
Yeah, dude.
Do you guys have any parting shots of last minute things you'd like to know?
I don't have anything. I just want to say thanks for coming on and taking the time, dude. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It's very nice to meet you. And I know I learned some stuff, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm already a fan, man. It seems like you got it going on in this, and it feels like you still want to keep joining. So that's pretty awesome. We appreciate all the insight you've given us because it's going to help us, honestly. And it's
if y'all ever need any help, just reach out to me. I mean, I'm always just around. Especially on Discord, it's the easiest way because I live on Discord. But yeah, I'm always free. Just let me know.
Awesome, man. Well, I think that'll wrap up our episode. And it's going to be exciting to get this out there. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace out, girls.
We just wanted to say thanks again, everybody, for listening to this episode of the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. With that said, we wanted to give you guys a proper outro. Here we go.
All right, guys. So please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We have DV Sports and Gaming for Instagram. Our TikTok is DV Sports Gaming, and our YouTube is DV Sports and Gaming. We post all kinds of videos, all kinds of clips, sports related, and also just gaming clips. So please subscribe and follow.
And don't forget to utilize our social medias to interact with us and give feedback on the podcast and content that we create. We want to build a community around sports and gaming with our fans and listeners. And as always, guys, thanks for listening to the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.